Okay, today this is a video lesson about the topic for week 1, which is all about functions. So for week 1, I asked you to do page 17, Independent Assessment 2, page 45, Independent Assessment 1, page 19, What I Can Do, page 48, What I Can Do, and page 80, which is Additional Activities. So the first lesson is all about representing real-life situations using functions. So let's start first with defining relation and function. So a relation is any set of ordered pairs which in the set of all first elements of the ordered pairs is called the domain of the relation, and the set of all second elements is called the range. So when we talk about function naman, this is a relation or rule of correspondence between two elements, domain and range, such that each element in the domain corresponds to exactly one element in the range. So to further understand the function, here are the following examples. So one set A, or the function of A, with the following ordered pairs: 1 and 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and 5. For the second function is 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Letter C, 1, 0, A, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, 0, negative 1. And letter D, A, B, B, C, C, D, A, D. So the relations A and B are functions. So this A and B are functions because each element in the domain corresponds to a unique element in the range. In short, yung domain, itong first element na to, yung 1, the 2 here, the 3 here, and the 4 is not repeated. So hindi siya naulit. Same here. 3, the 4, 5, and 6. So remember, sa ordered pair, ito yung X, ito yung Y. So yung C and D are simply relations. So these are not functions. Bakit kamo? As you can see dito sa second ordered pair, dito sa set, which is 0, 1, and 0, negative 1, parehong 0 yung X. So nag-cut pareho siya. Same with letter D, which is A, and A here, so pareho. So it's not a function. It's just simply a relation. So a relation between two sets of numbers can be illustrated by graph in the Cartesian plane. And that function passes the vertical line test. So paano naman kung graph yung given? Paano mo malalaman na function ito? So simple lang, drawing ka lang ng vertical line. So this is the given graph. So pag nag-draw ba tayo ng vertical line dyan, it passes only and intersects only at exactly one point. So same here, this also a function. So function ito, function. Kapag ito naman, di ba, this is an ellipse, or sabi nga nila, oblong. So kapag nag-drawing ka dyan, di ba, two points ang dadaanan. So it's not a function. Same here. So kapag nag-draw ka ng vertical line dyan, dalawang point ang dadaanan. So it's not a function. So only A and C are functions. So, dun sa inyong module, may mga different scenarios. So, these scenarios represent relations and functions. Okay, so ano nga ba yung tinatawag na piecewise functions? So, these are functions that requires more than one formula. So, situational kasi ito. Example nito, a user is charged 250 pesos monthly for a particular mobile plan which includes 200 free text messages. Messages in excess of 200 are charged 1 peso each. Represent the monthly cost for text messaging using the function T of M. So, ang gagamitin natin ay T of M, or function of M, which is T of M is equal to yung bracket, 250 pesos daw, so which is 250, kapag yung M, number of messages, is greater than 0, but less than or equal to 200. Kapag naman lumagpas ng 200 yung text messages nyo, it's gonna be 250 plus M if M is greater than 200. So, there are a lot of examples in your module. Paki-aral na lang po. Let's study those examples. So, this is the first activity na kailangan nyo gawin, which is Independent Assessment 2. So, sundan nyo lang yung mga examples kung paano natin ginawa siya. So, ganun rin ang gagawin nyo dito sa Independent Assessment. So, what I can do naman, look for at least 3 situations that could represent functions. So example, the budget for food is a function of the number of family members. So, ito yung problem na ginawa. Reyes family has 1,500 pesos food budget for each member of their family in a month. Express the total food budget as a function of number of family members and in 1 month. So, B of x is equal to 1,500 times x or 1,500x. Okay, so gagawa kayo ng sarili nyong problem. Yung may pattern dito sa given example, pwede rin pong tumingin ng mga examples pa na nandyan sa ating mga modules. So, pwede kayo mag-pattern dyan. Same with Google. Pwedeng i-Google natin. Now, next topic is all about evaluating functions. So, pag sinabi natin evaluating functions, di ba napag-aralan natin sa inyong junior high na to find the value of the expression, there are two things that you have to do. Replace each letter in the expression with assigned value and perform the operations in the expression using the correct order of operations. Okay? So, example, given the following expressions, find its value of x equals 3. So, x minus 9. So, that's gonna be, yung x ay replace natin ng 3. 3 minus 9, negative 6. So, dito naman, 3x plus 7. 3 times x ang ibig sabihin yan. So, 3 times 3, yung x natin ay pinalitan ng 3. 3 times 3, 9 plus 7 is equal to 16. So, there are different types of functions. So, constant function, y equals 7. So, tandaan, f of x, lagi ang gagamitin natin as the notation for function. Identity function, f of 2 equals to the same, yung value. Then, we have the polynomial function. It's given or defined by this, y equals a sub 0 plus a sub 1x plus a squared x squared plus a raised to n x raised to n, where n is a negative integer and a raised to 0, a raised to 1, a raised to r element of real numbers. So linear function, example nito is y equals to x plus 5. Then we have quadratic function and cubic function, which you have learned when you were in junior high school. So, power function, yung may exponent. Rational function, this is will be our next topic. And exponential function and logarithmic function. We'll be discussing those 3 topics later in our module. So, absolute value function. So, yung symbol na yan ay absolute value. C is represented in the form of absolute C. If any function is defined by f of x equals absolute value of x, it is known as absolute value function. For each non-negative value of x, for each value of x equals negative x, so that means x, if x is greater than or equal to 0, and x is less than 0. So, magiging positive yung value na nandun sa loob ng absolute sign. So, dito naman, round up nyo to the real number to the integer less than the number. Suppose the given interval is in the form of k and k plus 1. The value of greatest integer function is k, which is an integer. So, that is an example. Okay, so evaluating function. So, kanina expression lang yon. So, pag sinabing function, gumagamit tayo ng notation na f of x, which is equal to 2x minus 4. So, this is the given. Find the value of the function f if x equals 3. So, yung x natin dyan is papalitan ng 3. So, f of 3 equals 2 times 3 minus 4. So, f of 3 equals 6 minus 4. So, f of 3 equals 2. So, that means f of x equals 2x minus 4. F of 3 equals 2. So, ganun lang kasimple. So, these are other examples. Paano kung may exponent? 3x squared plus 7, wherein g is g negative 3. So, negative 3, i-replace natin dun sa x. So, 3 times negative 3 squared. So, unahin nyo munang square yung negative 3, negative, positive. 3 times 9, 27 plus 7, that is 34. So, that's 34. And then, these are other examples. And more examples can be seen in your module. So, this is your activity. Independent Assessment 1. So, you will just evaluate. So, substitute nyo yan. So, possible ang maging answer nyo ay yan. Gagamitin yung mga absolute. Okay, absolute. Pwedeng maging expression ang maging sagot. Kasi katulad yan, wala namang number. A squared. Here is 2x plus 3. Then, what I can do, In this part of the you will apply your knowledge on evaluating functions. So mag-i-evaluate lang kayo. Find a function first where x represents the number of page printed out. Then how much, isa-substitute nyo dun sa sagot nyo sa letter A. Here naman, substitute lang rin tayo. Okay? Then operations and functions. So, ang definition, let f and g be functions. So, ang f and g are different functions. So, magkaiba siya. May dalawa tayong function. So, ang sum ay denoted by ng f plus g of x, which is f of x plus g of x. So, i-add mo lang yung dalawang function. Pagdating sa difference, subtract. Pag product, i-multiply lang natin. And then here, divide. Pagdating sa composite functions, this is the process of obtaining a composite function is called function composition. Discuss natin later. So, example, given these functions, x plus 5 to x minus 1, h of x is 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. So, di ba, we have f of x, g of x, and h of x. So, ang hahanapin letter A, f plus g of x. So, nandiyan naman sa module nyo, susundan lang natin yung f of x plus g of x. So, ang f of x natin is x plus 5, ang g of x is 2x minus 1. So, isa-substitute lang. X plus 5 plus 2x minus 1. Replace nyo lang. Then, combine similar terms or like terms. So, 3x, then positive 5 and minus 1, that's positive 4. Same thing you'll do here. Anong nangyari kay minus, kay subtraction? So, negative, di ba? Nasa loob ng parenthesis si 2x minus 1, magiging negative 2x plus 1. Then, combine like terms. Multiplication, kapag meron kang two binomials, ang usually na ginagamit nyo is the FOIL method. Or pwede rin kayong mag-long method, which is the vertical method. Then, division, magpo-factor tayo, which is you have to cancel out common factors. Sometimes, hindi na factor yung given, so leave it as is. Composition of function. So, pag sinabing composition of function is putting a function inside another function. So, pag sinabing f circle h of x, so, yung h of x, ilalagay mo sa loob ng f of x. So, that x plus 2, isa-substitute mo dyan sa x na yan nandyan. So, let's have an example here. X squared plus 5x plus 6. So, yung x plus 2 squared plus 5 times the quantity x plus 2 plus 6. So, x plus 2 squared, that is square of binomial. So, you can use FOIL method or you can apply the process in multiplying the square of a binomial. Then, we have, it's like x times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x times 2 is 4x. Then, 2 times 2 is 4. Then, distribute. 5 times x, 5x. 5 times positive 2, positive 10. Then, copy positive 6. Then, perform the operation, combine similar terms. That's gonna be x squared. 4x plus 5x is 9x. Then, 4 plus 10 plus 6 is positive 20. That's composition of functions. So, ito yung pinapagawa ko naman sa inyo, which is column A, column B. Imamatch nyo lang yan. So, f of 0. Okay, so substitute 2 times 0 minus 1. So, asan dyan yung sagot? So, ilalagay mo dun yung sagot kung A, B, C, D, F, G hanggang O or kung alin dyan ang sagot sa 1 to 15. Then, after that, you have to write the punchline. So, yung sagot sa 1 to 4, kung ano man yung sagot nyo sa 1 to 4, ilagay yung punchline dyan hanggang mabuo nyo ang punchline. Okay? So, take note, it always seems impossible until it's done. So, always begin your work on time para hindi tayo mag-cramming in the end. So, that's it. It's all about functions, introduction of functions, which is all about evaluating, operation, and composition of functions. So,